Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Real Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Inc. brokerage, and your host. Tonight we pick up a topic: ethical code of conduct in real estate. As you know, or you should know, the real estate profession is regulated in the province of Ontario. Real Estate Council of Ontario is the regulator whose mandate from the Government of Ontario is to implement education, registration, compliance, and consumer protection program to promote good ethical practices in the marketplace for real estate professionals. So it will create more and more confidence in consumer to engage with real estate professionals who are licensed by RICO. So we have a law is called TRESA, Trust in Real Estate Services Act of 2002. It was implemented on December 1st, 2023, which replaces REBA 2002. So one system that is regulated is real estate professional. In real estate, not only that we follow law, we're going to talk about the code of ethics and code of conducts in this. We talk about Ontario Regulation 365/22, which became effective when TRESA became effective on December 1st, 2023. We also have federal, provincial, and local board organization. Canadian Real Estate Association controls and support federally all members who wants to use MLS system. They are member of Canadian Real Estate Association. It also does a lobbying to the federal government about different improvement in regulations and policy and procedures. We have Ontario Real Estate Association, which deals with Ontario. So each organization has its own code of ethics. Not only we follow the regulations, we are mandated, but we also follow the federal, provincial, and also local board like Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, Mississauga Real Estate Board, now soon to be Cornerstone Association of Realtors with 4 more boards. So they have their own code of ethics that every member needs to follow. On top of that, if you have designations, for example, I am a fellow of Real Estate Institute of Canada. So Real Estate Institute of Canada was established in 1955. They have their own code of ethics and guideline for professional practices, business practices. Similarly, I'm also CIPS certified international property specialist. Therefore, I follow the NOR code of ethics and professional standards. So in addition to regulation, association, which we call organized real estate, and institutions that give you designation, I have 6 designations, so I follow all those institutions. And this is why. What is the purpose of this code of ethics? Is an organized way of dealing with educating and promoting honesty and fairness when you are dealing with the consumer and even with your fellow registrants, realtors, brokers, that you need to be honest and fair. Focus obviously is consumer because they rely on you. And most importantly also, as a part of the code, is a professional competence service. You are required as a real estate professional, and consumer expect from you that you are competent in your jurisdiction, whichever you provide the services. For some reason, if you don't have the competency, you should partner with your fellow member of your brokerage to deliver valuable and competent service so you remain in compliance to the TRESA. You need to avoid misrepresentation and deception. You cannot misrepresent. You need to provide the facts to the consumers. And causing harm, providing deception, will harm you, and you will be infringing the TRESA. You as a registrant, or when the consumer is dealing with registrant, they are expected to be the highest integrity when you are dealing with a consumer, even a human being. When you are dealing with people, they need to trust you. So you say what you plan to do. And you need to be loyal to your clients. Client expect you to be loyal. If you are serving your client as a registrant, you have to make sure you make appropriate disclosures. For example, if you are a director of a company that is selling something, so that's part of disclosure, disposition of a property because you have an interest in it. Or you are partially owner of a property. It's not shown anywhere, but you have vested interest in there. You need to disclose that. And most importantly, keeping client information confidential and private, because consumers are trusting upon you that you safeguard your information. And it is also the obligation of real estate professional and the brokerage. Just to provide a clarity, we have three types of brokerage. A self-employed brokerage, for example, I am a broker, I want to register myself, Tahir Qureshi, as a brokerage. I register with RICO. My license is Tahir Qureshi, so it's a brokerage. Partners, two brokers will come together and create a partnership and open a brokerage, register with RICO. Third one, which is very commonly used to limit liability as well, is a corporation. Corporation is a brokerage, which commonly, because you can see so many franchises. So this is very, very important for you to understand that these are the expectations. And when you talk about integrity, we talk about courtesy, honesty, demonstrating good faith and integrity in relation to every person involved in real estate. When you are dealing with the appraisal, so make sure that you are maintaining yourself to the highest ethical standards, because client wants to make sure that the appraisal comes back, hopefully to the price that you have negotiated, and also lender is borrowing the money, giving the money to the borrower. So they want to make sure their money is protected. Most cases, when the when the loan to value is 20% or more, conventional mortgage, because the bank does not have any protection available against the money that you borrow. So appraisal is very, very important. I have spoken to one of the former president of Appraisal Institute of Canada. Hopefully we'll have him in April sometime. He's out of the country now. We're going to have him come on our show and talk about appraisal, importance of appraisal. Unprofessional conduct. You know, when you are doing a job for a client, you have to make sure your information is correct. You're not missing anything, because missing anything may end up misrepresentation, falsification. So it's very, very important that you will make reasonable effort, that you are not disgraceful, you're not dishonorable, you're not unprofessional, and you're not unbecoming a registrant. That means when you violate and infringe TRESA or regulations after a complaint is received from a consumer and decision is made by RICO, Discipline Committee, and penalty could be severe. Right now, maximum penalty is $50,000 for a serious violation and up to $100,000 to the corporation. So this is good for the consumer to know that there is a watchdog watching everyone in real estate profession you are dealing with. So you should have a very confidence. And we are not supposed to counsel people to contravene the law, because lots of the time consumer in their personal interest will ask you to do things which is violation of the law. You should tell them it's against the law. You walk away from the deal if it's intimidating to you, but don't break the law, because that's where you can get trouble. And you should, as a registrant, should never be a party of a fraud. If somebody is trying to get a mortgage to make the deal so you can get a commission, and you become a conduit for it, you should never. Anyone who is trying to fabricate documents to make a deal and it is a fraud, because bank is lending the money or the lender is lending the money and paperwork is being done to get the money. So we are professionals. We have to protect the interest of our client so nobody get in trouble. If somebody is doing a fraudulent things, you need to report them. It's very, very important. And also we talk about misrepresentation. Idea is to provide accurate, complete, and current information. And when I talk to my clients, people seeking my opinion, now because of TRESA, we cannot provide opinion, advice, or a service unless consumer has engaged my brokerage or myself and signed a representation agreement, whether it's a seller or buyer. Because now under this law, you will have a self-represented party option. That means buyer or seller can self-represent themselves. So either you have a service or you don't have a service from a brokerage. This is why it's very important when anybody meets me and they want to talk to me, I send them a RICO guide so we have understanding of it. So if they're serious about it to start a relationship, they will set up a time with me and we negotiate and sit down and go through the information guide. There are 12, 13 pages. It explains why it's important to work with a realtor or registrant, salesperson, broker. Obviously, it has to be employee of a brokerage. So we will never mislead. In order to make deal, you don't mislead a client or anyone or anyone who is involved with misrepresentation or unethical practices. I always said good ethic is good business. You have a long-term trusty relationship. You need to bond with people so they trust you. And this is how we operate. We want to deliver a value of services. My company, we have a trademark. It's called pitch. P as a professional, with I as integrity, T as a trustworthy, C as competent, H as honest, real estate services. So it's covered. These are 5 principal values. If you compromise one of those values, principles, you will never be able to deliver a value to your client. So this is very important. Now we talk about intimidation and coercion. Research should not engage in conduct that is intimidating. That means you cannot be abusive or constitute undue pressure or harass your clients or your colleagues, realtors, because we are all registrant. We have to honestly treat respectfully our clients and fellow realtors also. And this is why it's very important to share this information with consumer so they understand that we are following a very clear path that provide a level of confidence, trust that you can deal with the registrant. As I always said, if you want to start business with, if you want to learn about it, always go to RECO, reco.on.ca. That's a regulated website. I'd be more than happy. You can call me directly, 416-451-3489. But remember that I can only share RECO guide, information guide with you and sit down with you and explain the purpose of RECO information guide. And you have to sign it. This is not a binding contract. It's about options and why would you engage with the realtors. And obviously, you can have a brokerage representation or you have a broker representation, but there are designated seller representation or designated buyer representation. That means you have designated me, Tahir I Qureshi, broker record, to represent you in this particular transactions. There are lots of terms and conditions that you have to now include in Schedule A of the listing or BRA, which covers the regulatory requirement from RECO. RECO has beautiful guidelines. If you go to RECO website, especially realtors, there is an information guide for residential. One is the information guide for commercial. And there are information disclosure to self-party form. If we have a client who wants to deal directly by themselves, we call self-represented party, there are disclosure requirements. So we're going to take a short break and we come back and we continue our conversation on ethical code of ethics in real estate.
Q Wireless and Computer. Upnit 06.
Popeyes has opened a brand new location in downtown Vancouver. Satisfy your craving for Cajun at this new location off West Georgia and Hamilton Street, where you'll find all your favorite Louisiana-inspired menu items. We sampled the unrivaled trio of sandwiches, the classic, the deluxe, and the blackened deluxe chicken sandwich, and all were delicious. All of the signature fried chicken is marinated for 12 hours, then hand-battered and breaded, served with Cajun fries and mac and cheese on the side. Plus, for a limited time, you can try Popeye's Crispy Chicken Wrap, available now until September 3rd. Check out the new Popeye's location at 700 Hamilton Street today. Who are you bringing with you? Tag them in the comments.
This is the latest opening in BC for Popeyes, with more openings coming soon in both Alberta and BC by PLK Group.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Thinking of buying or selling real estate? Call us today. We are one-stop solution provider for your real estate needs. Our commission plans to meet your budget. Buy, sell, or build. We can help. Think of us today. Call us at 905-785-9923. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Thank you.
Welcome to SFK Law, where we're committed to providing legal guidance tailored to your needs. When it comes to real estate law, every detail matters. At SFK Law, we will assist you whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your property. We'll guide you throughout the process with complete transparency.
Whether you're an employer or an employee, our team will provide expert guidance and representation to safeguard your rights and interests. Whether you're an existing business owner or you're looking to buy or sell a business, at SFK Law, we can help you structure the transaction from start to finish.
If you're searching for a lawyer, contact us today to schedule your consultation.
अगर आपको दुबई या मिडिल ईस्ट नुमा जेवरात की तलाश है, तो आपको दूर जाने की बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं। आज ही हमारे
Mississauga Ridgeway
स्टोर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स। हमारे पास सोने के बेहतरीन कंगन, कड़े, झुमके, हार और सोने के सेट्स भी दस्तयाब हैं। शादी हो या मेहंदी या कोई भी फंक्शन, आपकी पसंद के तमाम जेवरात आपको हमारे स्टोर में मौजूद मिलेंगे। आज ही हमारे स्टोर पर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, 3465 प्लैटिनम ड्राइव, यूनिट 99, मिसिसागा, या फिर कॉल करें 905-828-0009। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, फरमाइश आपकी, गारंटी हमारी।
आओ चले ईद बाजार, चलो चले ईद बाजार। चूड़ियां, झुमके, जूते, पान लगाएं, मेहंदी ले सामान। लेडीज जेंट्स कपड़े, सूट, शेरवानी और सैंडल बूट, सुर्खी पाउडर और सिंगार, फ्री एंट्री इस बाजार। चीज मयारी, सस्ते दाम, वहाँ की हर शे आए काम। आओ चले, चलो चले।
Eid Bazaar, presented by Awaz Entertainment and PGA International
at National Banquet Hall from April 6th to Chandrat, April 9th.
HK Movers, home, offices, apartments and delivery, big or small, we move it all.
HK Movers.
Local and long distance, we also ship cars, Keller transport and moving services.
For service with a smile, give us a call.
Call Mr. Harminder 416-524-6704.
416-524-6704 पे.
Visit 140 Advance Boulevard, Unit number 10, Brampton.
Long distance moving specialist.
HK Movers. HK Movers.
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस पिछले 16 सालों से खरीदारों की खिदमत कर रहे हैं। हम लगातार 4 सालों से खरीदारों की पहली पसंद बने रहने का अवार्ड हासिल कर चुके हैं। हम किचनर्स, बॉश, वर्लपूल, एलजी, सैमसंग और जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ लें। हम आप सभी को टीवी सबसे ज्यादा रियायती दामों पर देने की गारंटी देते हैं। www.dixieelectronics.ca हमारी वेबसाइट पर जाएं या अभी कॉल करें 905-625-5900। सभी बहुत ही मुनासिब कीमत पर दस्तयाब हैं, जो आप बाआसानी से ले सकते हैं। At Dixie, we sell quality and.
Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Roast Institute of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Brokerage, and I'm your host. Tonight we're talking about ethical code of conduct in real estate. So it will bring you some awareness, some confidence that you are dealing with registrants, realtors, sale agent, broker record, brokerage, that they are licensed, they are regulated, they are controlled, they have associations, the organized real estate that dictate them to follow those code of ethics and professional business practices. So therefore you are protected. Now, it's very, very important also is that when you are dealing with your client, you have to know your best interest is our priority. Protecting your interest is our fiduciary duty. And this is why if sometime you have a difficulty in making decisions, we have to judge that. Maybe you need some guidance. If you are dealing with the seniors, they are not capable of making decisions. So you need to talk to next of kin or other people who have the authority to speak on behalf of your client. It's very often happens, people do repeat business. They don't check their driving license is expired because ID requirement. Sometimes they ask you to send photocopy. But you have to know people. You have to verify the data. This is where you have met, you have verified the data when you're creating FinTrack documents, individual or corporations, the trust deposits, funds are coming to you. You are recording that. And this is why it's very, very important for you. And we are expected to, if we feel our guts are telling us that something is wrong here, we better seek advice. And most of elderly clients, they have lawyers, some family members are representing them. Do you want them to be present when they're making the decision? Conscientious and competent service, we talked about that. You want to have a courteous and responsive service to your client and demonstrate reasonable knowledge, skill, judgment, and competence in providing such service that you are hired. For example, I am a senior real estate specialist. I have a designation from NAR, National Association of Realtors from Chicago, that I deal specialized training to deal with seniors. So I always say seniors serving seniors. And this is very important because you need a certain care, attention to details and guidance you have to provide to your client. This is very, very important for all of us to do that. Particularly under TRASA, when you have dealing with a self-represented party, we cannot provide service, opinion, advice to a self-represented party because they have chosen, after reading RICO information guide, they decided that they want to represent themselves. In the past, we've been kind of giving advice and opinions, and we cannot do that anymore. Either they are a client or they're not client. And you cannot encourage or give impression that self-represented party can rely on your knowledge, skill, or judgment. Don't give that impression, false impression, because you will be violating if they say, I made the decision because of this, but he or she is not a client. So this is very, very important for you. The first contact you have with a buyer or seller, go to rico.on.ca And TRESA explain side, send the information to your client. That way they have all the information before they make the decision, and hopefully by that time they are convinced to work with you. Other issue that very commonly complain about is services by others. If you are a real estate professional, and especially consumer, you do not expect the realtor to be acting like a lawyers or appraisers or home inspectors unless the person have a license or competency in that field. So, Code of Ethics, now under this regulation, Ontario Regulation 365-22, Section 11, it talks about when you are giving advice, you better recommend people, 3 people minimum, home inspector, lawyer, accountant, engineers, whatever is required. So let them provide the opinion to you. I have the credentials, and my consultancy has provided vendor and builder registration with HCRA. So I have passed 7 exams in how to build a house in accordance with HCRA guidelines and taking warranty. Therefore, I can talk about it. I am also principal broker Canada Express Mortgage, license number 13241. So I can talk about the mortgage. Obviously, broker of record for City Pro Realty, I can talk about real estate. So I can talk all these 3 subjects, but I cannot give you legal opinion. That is coming from the lawyer. And that's why they are encouraging that you talk to the competent professional in the jurisdiction. We talk about confidentiality when you take information from your client and you're supposed to protect that. And law requires that. And brokerage have policies, procedures in place, how to protect the information, and we do that. And so you have to be assured when you're dealing with a licensed person, your information is private and confidential. It's controlled by the brokerage. Broker of record is a complying officer under TRESA. This is very, very important that we only use information, obtain information that we need to carry on our obligation under TRESA. We don't need unnecessary extra information. There's a very important conflict of interest is the issue, particularly registrants when they're acquiring a property or registrant when they are disposing of a property. There are forms. Korea has a form. Your board has a form. Disclosure is important. Very, very important. Disclosure, disclosure, disclosure.
Q wireless and computer.
We're going to take a short break again, and then we come back and continue and end the program.
अपने तमाम devices, phones, iPads, tablets, MacBooks और laptops के repairs और मरम्मत के लिए हमसे आज ही राब्ता कीजिए। हम quality expertise के साथ साथ आपको free of cost diagnosis भी देंगे और data security की guarantee भी। अपने मुफ्त कोड के लिए हमें आज ही कॉल करें 647-350-6606।
Welcome to Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment. We are just finishing up our program and dealing with other registrants. This is very, very important for our real estate professional and also consumer. You need to know that we have to respectfully share and provide information where is lawfully we can provide to our fellow registrants, and we are to be respectful to each other and follow honest, professional practices and ethical practices. to cooperate with each one. And when we are dealing with real estate. Now, no obstruction. This is very important. If you notice that, if you have not seen it, please call me 416-451-3489 or email me tahir@realtycoffeetalk.com. I send you the RICO information guide. And it says that at the end page, it has a RICO registrar's phone number, address, email, everything. So if you have to complain against it, registrars are not supposed to stop you or intimidate you that you should not make a complaint to registrant. You have the right to complain if you are not feeling good or there are some problems with it. That's why we are trying to, registrant, we are not supposed to obstruct that, to stop it. Don't do the complaint. No. You have the right. And that by obstructing it, we are violating the law. And this is very important that we should not violate the law. We encourage people if they have. And this is why RICO information guideline is very beautiful. It has all the information where to call and get your duty. Duty to come in compliance. That means we registrant have a duty to not to violate the law, because if we do, we can get in trouble. And this is very, very important that we will not encourage anyone to violate the law to make a transaction in real estate. So I hope that you have some understanding that we have an Ontario government, have a representation, mandated RICO to implement education, registration, compliance, and consumer protection program. The Code of Ethics, we talk about Ontario Regulation 365-22, part of a TRESA, and also Canadian Real Estate Association, Ontario Real Estate Association, Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, Mississauga Real Estate Board, many other boards, and also institutions where you have a designations. So I hope you have understanding. Please visit Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment, also realtycoffeetalk.com, or go to my YouTube channel at the rate of Realty Coffee Talk and watch all the episodes that are shared on Awaz Entertainment. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Thursday at 5 p.m. Bye for now. May God bless you all. May God bless Canada. Bye for now.